In spring 2025, Walibi Belgium, just outside of Brussels, debuted a prototype family coaster from Gerstlauer known as Mechalodon. The ride is designed to set a new standard within the family coaster market, complete with a 39-inch height requirement, multiple LSM launches, up to 0.2 negative Gs and up to 3.6 positive Gs. AKA, this is a very dynamic attraction fit for all audiences. Gerstlauer has always been a leader in the family coaster market, creating some of the best, most diverse in the world like Fire Chaser Express, Pegasus Expressin, Wakala, and after experiencing Mecalodon for myself, I can confidently say this ride is better than all of those. Easily one of the best family coasters I have ever experienced, and I have to give my hats off to Gerstlauer and Walibi Belgium for pulling this attraction off. In this review, I'm going to dive into the entire ride experience, walk through the layout, discuss the theme, the pros, and also the cons. But in case you're unfamiliar with Walibi Belgium, this ride is located out over the water directly in the center of the park. It's the anchor of a new themed zone known as Dock World, directly across from the entrance of the former Psyche Underground coaster, now known as Turbine. The ride replaced a former Intamin towboat known as Gold River Adventure. And in its place, Gerstlauer packed in over 3,000 feet of track, twisting and winding over the water and underneath the other Gerstlauer family coaster, Tiki Waka. There's track everywhere you look. It is hard to follow where this vehicle is going next. I wouldn't have guessed another family coaster for Walibi Belgium's next big roller coaster, but I guess considering their last roller coaster was Conda, it does make sense to add some variety, and they went with a multi-launch coaster. Unlike anything else in the park, this really feels like a tamer version of one of Intamin's larger LSM coasters. It follows the same pattern of multiple exciting launches, high-speed turns, airtime. Instead of throwing in inversions, Mechalodon packs in a ton of exciting rapid-fire transitions. This is one of the twistiest roller coasters ever designed, and I am living for it because every single twist gives you airtime. The ride lives up to the model name. This ride is packed with floater airtime, no matter where you sit. I got a bunch of rides in on Mechalodon, and from my experience, I do think front gave the strongest airtime, but there truly was not a bad seat on the ride. The ride is incredible long before you even step foot on the train. Dock World is the latest and greatest zone at Walibi Belgium, and it might be their best. Mechalodon features one of the most detailed queues of any family coaster, and it's a long walkthrough. Let me just add, you're going to be going up and down several flights of stairs, but there's a lot to look at. Schematics, tools, paintbrushes, notes, funny movie posters for shark films, random signs like I like big boats and I cannot lie, and lots of AI-generated artwork. Yeah, don't love that part. But they've really built a whole story around this coaster. The idea is that you're taking a ride on a mechanical shark designed by these kids in their dad's garage who were bored and decided to combine their passions of mechanics and sharks to build the ride. Yeah, it's a really dumb story. But you'll learn all about this family up on Doc TV. Scattered throughout the line, they'll walk you through everything kind of news reporter style. During my day, Mechalodon was generating like a solid 20 to 30 minute wait, but the line moves so fast because their operations are just that good, and there's so many details that I really didn't mind waiting. But if you do happen to go on a really busy day, they also have a single rider line. But of course, naturally, there's no preferred seating. So just be aware of that. I'm a big fan of how this station came together. You really do feel like you're in a boathouse, and this train is spectacular. Every detail down to the shark fin on the front, the sand crusted over details. It looks so freaking good. But how's the ride experience? Does it stack up? As you dispatch out of the station, you're going to enter the long, narrow launch tunnel. An alarm starts going off. The girl, Laura, is shouting, "Go, go, go!" You shoot out. We know that the maximum speed on Mechalodon is 40 miles per hour. Unclear whether that is on this launch or later on during the ride, but this is a nice kick sending you into a straight classic camelback airtime hill. You'll drop down, banking to the left, then switching rapidly to the right over an off-axis hill, ducking underneath this themed play structure and entering what I'm calling the Cheetah Hunt S-Bend. Because if you've ridden that ride at Busch Gardens Tampa, yeah, this is straight out of their book. Awesome moment weaving through the supports of Tiki Waka. I couldn't believe that they managed to fit in track here. And that's when you line up with Launch 2. This one features an airtime hill directly in the center. This is one of the few moments where I feel like I didn't really lift up out of my seat on that launch hump, and actually the same goes for later on. The next launch is set up the exact same way. But on the bright side, you get great flow to air on this next element, this wave turn following launch 2. You drop down, twisting to the left, banking then to the right, pulling a bunch of positive G's right up against the water. You straighten out, enter 2 small bunny humps, and then a right-handed turn into launch 3. This one runs parallel to launch 2 again with a little bunny hump, and then you rise up into a double down drop. I believe this is the highest moment of the coaster. Mechalodon stands 49 feet tall at its highest moment. And this double down really catches you off guard, maybe the strongest moment of airtime there on that second down. But you know, Mechalodon keeps that momentum up, ducking underneath a section of track that you passed over earlier into another classic airtime hill. This one, again, great floater air. And then you bank sharply to the left in that grand vista view, like as you're walking up to Mechalodon. This is the first look of the ride that you get, flying underneath that wooden structure, twisting sharply to the right, leveling out into a final little twist with a nice moment of laterals there, and then a slight turn into the brake run. Mechalodon is not only packed with airtime, but also plenty of lateral transitions. And the seats are designed in a way to have bracing for that, which is super important because especially like those S-bends at the beginning, that's all you're feeling is that side-to-side motion. But it's so unbelievably comfortable. It's just a well-designed layout in general, and it rides impeccably smooth. One of the smoothest Gerstlauers on the planet, and that's incredible for this being a prototype train. Gerstlauer hasn't really done LSM launches like this on their family coasters, and so this whole restraint and seat design is brand new. No seatbelt, just a lap bar, and it is almost perfect if it weren't for the fact that you have to ride with your stinking bags. I'm sorry, but this is the dumbest thing ever for an airtime focused coaster that you are required to ride with all your items on this wide open train. People have legitimately lost their backpacks on this ride, and I don't understand why they can't just add freaking bins like they have on some of their other rides. If the forces were milder, like on a ride like Tikiwaka, you know, I think that's one thing. But one of our friends literally nicknamed the double down the backpack hill because they've seen multiple people lose their backpacks on that moment. And I really think that Walibi Belgium needs to reconsider that policy. Especially someone like me who carries around a lot of camera gear. My backpack is not small, and it made riding this a little uncomfortable where I'm sharing leg space with a big bag. Besides from that, you know, Mechalodon, almost perfect. This is, as far as I'm concerned, Gerstlauer's Big Bear Mountain. Like everyone talks about Big Bear Mountain at Dollywood as a benchmark for family coasters. It was Vekoma's turning point with that category of ride. I think Mechalodon hits the same mark. This might be a slight step up in terms of thrill. Like I don't really feel like Big Bear has airtime per se, and this does. I mean, this thing is operating with class 5 restraints. They are ready for it. Big Bear is only class 3. But again, what they both have in common, that 39-inch height requirement. The same little kids who can ride Big Bear could ride Mechalodon. And every review or comment that we are hearing from families coming off this ride was positive. This truly is a people-pleasing ride. As in, me, myself, a coaster enthusiast in my 20s, loved it, want to ride it multiple times, and there are parents with little kids on the same exact attraction. That is how you know you have a real winner. It's such a long ride with diverse elements, a beautiful queue, and an overall top-notch presentation. I think both Walibi Belgium and Gerstlauer stepped it up with Mechalodon, and I can't wait to see what's next. So for this attraction's final score, yeah, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10, guys. I really think this is one of the best family coasters on the planet. Exceeded expectations, so much fun, probably my second favorite ride in the park, right after Conda. You gotta come out here to Walibi Belgium, take a ride on Mechalodon, and let me know down in the comments below if you agree with the points that I brought up. And if you think there's anything I missed, be sure to post that down below. And stay tuned for more coaster reviews here at Coaster Studios, and I'll see you next time.